Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to draw dandelions. I'm going to use 4 colors: white, intense blue, burnt umber and black. Actually, we don't need too much black and burnt umber, but main colors will be white and intense blue. Also, I'm going to use 3 brushes. It is flat brush number 14 for background, flat brush number 10 for dandelion's head, for the fluffy part, and round brush number 4 for tiny lines. And before we start, I just wanted to say that we are going to do 3 layers, or like 3 stages of our drawing. First one will be shade behind the dandelions. It is middle dark part here. The second layer will be light frame around this page, and the third layer will be actually the dandelions themselves. So, and I'm going to start with the background. I'm starting with the shade with dark, middle dark part of this background. So we need brush number 14 to do this background. I wet this brush and wipe it, and on this brush I grab at the same time 2 colors. Just look, I don't dip my brush into the paint. I just grab on the one edge of my brush, I grab blue, and the second one edge I grab at the same time brown, and I'm starting to do vertical strokes in the middle of my page. At the same time, all these colors are mixing up on the page, on the canvas, and I don't spread this paint equally. I want to have some strokes, like stripes, to have effect of thorn edge and unequal flag in the shading behind my dandelions. So we don't need too much darkness behind the dandelions, and with this I don't wash my brush. Actually, I go on with this background with its lighter part. On the edge of my the same brush number 14, I grab white, and I start moving also vertical from left to right with the same brush. I don't go over this flag. Actually, I leave it, but anyway, I wanna cover this frame, this part of my canvas, with this white tone. It's not absolutely white, it's not poor, because my brush is still a little bit dirty. It has a little bit brown and blue paint on here, but anyway, it gives me nice effect of thorn edges. So I cover this canvas with this light frame. To have more interesting transitions of the colors, I want to mix a little bit blue to this phone, to this background, and go with some separate strokes, light strokes. I go over here. If you see that it is too dark, put more white, but I don't color in. I just wanted to have effect of thorn background, like shabby and thorn. I also don't leave very clear square, dark square in the middle. I also cover a little bit with white, but it's so light touches not just no pressure, just light touches, vertical touches along my canvas. So almost done. My frame is almost done. It's also interesting to have some extra paint. I mean, if you are doing this effect, if you wanted to reach such effect, you need to have good amount of paint on your brush, but this good amount of paint let you show the texture. Some traces of your paint will be visible, and it is also very interesting and gives us a very interesting effect. So the main part of my background is ready, but I also wanted to highlight the place where the light comes from. In my case, it will be from upper side. We don't see any sun or something, any lamp, but just know that this part is highlighted or has more light because source of light is above on the top. So I put more white over here. I also don't color in. I don't want to have equal surface, but still I have more highlighted part so that we can see that it is place where light comes. So it's ready. Probably I put a little bit more white over here because just to have illusion that it is thorn shabby surface, I just put some strokes with white, not too much. I don't highlight, but I just add extra almost visible, almost translucent layer of the paint over here. Yeah. Okay. Your brush moves not very accurate actually. It's short, brief strokes. I touch a little bit and then my brush flies up like planes usually take off from the land. So I just touch and takes off. It touches and takes off. Very light, very short and brief strokes. So it's ready. I wash my brush and now I'm going to do the stems of dandelions and base of these flowers. So for this I'm going to use round brush number 4. So what I am going to do, I grab a little bit black paint on the side of my palette and put a couple of drops of water. So to do such tiny lines I need more liquid paint. So if our paint is thick, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult to do very tiny accurate lines. So my paint, it is not actually paint for now, it's like colored water, black water. So, and I grab some liquid black on my brush number 4 and I'm drawing the stems. One will be over here. The second one will be a little bit higher, somewhere here. As you can see, it's not enough paint on my brush, that's why some unequal lines arising, so I just need to do more paint over here. So that's it. Now is the time for head of the flower. As we know, flower has particular construction, you know. So I'm going to do peduncle first. It's oval part of the flower in the middle, inside of this head. It's not round, it's not a circle, but it is like oval, something like this. And also I want to put some petals, or kind of petals which we have usually inside the flower, like here. That's ready. Now I want to go to head of dandelions, and I'm going to do the base for this fluffy part. So it's X flowers, actually X petals, but for now it's fluffy parts which have kind of seeds, so the wind can blow, and these light fluffy parts with seeds fly far away. So I load this liquid black on my brush. I'm still working with brush number 4, and I'm also going to do such taking off strokes, light and brief, like we did before. So I touch with my brush with H, and my brush takes off. To have such small tiny details, we need enough liquid paint on your brush. They can be of different length. I don't go with this part of the flower all around the head of the dandelion, just on the upper part. The same here. I just touch and my brush takes off. Done. And now, with the same brush I can do these separate flying seeds. I need to do some kind of pieces, these dry stems or small pieces of these seeds, something like this, with the same taking off strokes, brief and short. So done. Now I'm going to do our fluffy part of the dandelions, actually heads of dandelions. To do this, I wanna start with source of light. So as you can see, it is spheres. It's not just circle. I wanted to show how to express or how to draw the sphere. So as far as we know, the light comes from upper part. So, and from this part, from this upper and a little bit left part, we can see more white paint or more strokes. It represents like more highlighted pieces or more highlighted parts of heads of flower, as well as some light comes on stems of dandelions. We also highlight them. With brush number 4, I wash it up and wipe. I go to white paint over here on the side and put 1 drop of water or a couple of drops of water on the side. I don't need too much liquid paint, it's just white water, colored water. I don't need them too much, but still I'm gonna use this with top of my brush, just from upper part of my stem over here, adding some kind of highlighted part of the stem. Very tiny accurate line. So as you can see, I have some extra white over here. I'm trying to wash it up with my brush. If you have some misperfections, so don't worry, we will still cover all this part with white heads, with fluffy parts, so we cover some of misperfections. Don't worry about this. Also, with this liquid white color, I go to my seeds. I can put some fluffy part over here. Very tiny lines. Please don't do too much. Too much is also not good, this, but some tiny lines representing fluffy part of our dandelions. I need more white over here because my brush is almost dry. As you can see, not all of the seeds have are so good, well visible on white background, so I can highlight them with texture. I just grab thick white and put a little bit paint over here, and they become visible thanks to the texture of the paints. Something like here. I can highlight also upper part of peduncles because light still comes from upper part. Okay, so, and what else? I just put extra paint on the side. Now it's time for our dandelions fluffy part. It's like head. I'm gonna use flat brush number 10 and white color. I wet my brush, wipe it very well, properly, to have dry and fluffy brush. Actually, I'm doing it more fluffy because I want to use this top of my brush, only this, and I want it to have very fluffy. So I grab my white. Actually, I don't grab, I just touch a little bit with top of my brush. I touch a little bit on the side of this white paint. I don't dip it, I just touch a little bit and go around this circle, around this head. I go with these strokes. So such way I'm doing outline of my head, of dandelion's head, the same from this part. With dry, fluffy brush number 10. So we are doing outline for now, and then it's time to do more fluffy pieces. The same with fluffy top of brush number 10. I touch it with white, and I'm going to cover inner side of the head, but I don't color in. I just put some light strokes, like putting vertical strokes over here, because I wanted to have this head still visible, still translucent. So, and that's why I put some separate vertical padding. So you can see that our head of dandelions look very full of air, very fluffy and very, very light. So, but now I wanted to highlight where is source of light. So it comes from upper part, and I put more strokes from that part. So I grab more paint and put more strokes with good amount of paint from upper left part of dandelion. The same here. You can turn your brush and your finger during this patting. So I try to have this curved line representing the spheric form of dandelion. I don't go with right strength lines. I just do this with curved lines. Also, the effect of these fluffy parts can be represented with your strokes, with good amount of paint. So when you have these traces or these strokes, when you have this paint unequal spread, just some it gives us like texture. We can feel and see, the viewer can see the texture of this part of dandelions. So it's ready. Oh, probably I put more paint over here. I wanted to have texture. It's traces from my brush. It's still very fluffy, and with good amount of paint I can do such texture, can reach such effect of fluffiness. So yeah, if you feel that your dandelion is looks like coloring in with white and you can't feel all this volume of the sphere, just keep this drawing for a while, let it for a while, keep it drying, and after drying you can come with extra layer with white vertical painting on the top, and all these effects will be reached. Very easy and very atmospheric, shabby and thorn, but still very interesting dandelions. Thank you.